Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, if I geek out a little bit, it's because I'm talking to a legendary journalist and friend. Yes,
I can't get no satisfaction.
This show is going to be off the charts, but Brett Shipp is in the studio. He's a legendary journalist and my friend. His story next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, as you know, I spent 25 years in TV news, had a chance to work around some brilliant journalists, but no one can hold a candle to my next guest. Brett Shipp is in the studio. He's a legendary journalist. He's won every award that there is to win, and he's a communications expert, and he's my friend. Thank you for coming on the show.
You know, I can't believe you took so long to invite me on your show, but that's okay. That's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. I'll get over it, but I'm just glad I'm here today.
I'm beyond thrilled. Truly, there's no one who can hold a candle to Brett Shipp. He's won the highest awards in journalism, the Peabody Award, DuPont, countless Emmys. I would love to see his
stop there. IRE.
Yes.
He left you out. Goldsmith Prize.
He has a whole wing of his house devoted to his trophies. But the reason I had him on the show is you talk about a journalism family. Your dad, legendary journalist, and your earliest memories are playing around in the Channel 8 newsroom.
Yeah, no, my earliest memories are childbirth, but nobody cares about that. Actually, just a few days ago, I went to the scene of one of my dad's coolest stories was the reopening of the Cabana Hotel. Used to call it Cabana in the day, but it just reopened as a kind of a low-income housing, and there was a grand opening. So I went there. I'm like, this is where my dad got the Beatles autographs.
No kidding.
He interviewed him when he broke into their dressing room in 1964 at Memorial Auditorium and sneaked in and interviewed them. But the night before, when the Beatles flew into town, he was at Love Field. He knew they were going to the Cabana Hotel, so he raced over there, the back streets, parked in the back because he knew they would bring him in the loading dock. He jumps up on the loading dock, and here they come. And so all the kids figure this out. And so they're like, the security hastily raises, gets the Beatles out of the car, gets them up on the loading dock. George gets beat up. He gets cut open. Really? He gets beat up so bad. So George goes off to get care. Ringo, John, and Paul get on the service elevator. And guess who gets on the service elevator?
Your dad.
My dad. Where's our camera?
Of course he did.
My dad gets on the service elevator with the freaking Beatles and gets their autographs, only 3 of them, on the ride up to the 10th floor.
Wow.
And they stopped him from getting off. But I have the autographs to this day.
I'm glad you told the Beatles story because there's a JFK story, and I'm going to have a reporter interviewed Brett many years ago about JFK, and you talked a lot about your dad in this piece. So let's go ahead and roll that.
On November 22, 1963, a young president and his wife got off Air Force One and they hopped in their Lincoln Continental for a presidential motorcade. A bright day in Dallas that quickly turned dark. The day John F. Kennedy was shot was also the day the nation turned to their TV sets. An iconic voice rang through everyone's living room, making an announcement that impacted the world.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
50 years ago, Abraham Zapruder stood right here and broadcast news changed forever.
The Zapruder video got the assassination on film, one piece from that historical day, which illustrated the importance of visual storytelling. A young local reporter came into contact with the film.
And we believe a couple of Secret Service men walk into the station and say, I think I've got film of the president being assassinated. Can you guys develop it? The Morning News says you guys can develop it. And my dad intercepts them and says, no, we can't. If that's 8mm and it's color, we try to develop it here, it'll ruin it. You need to go to Eastman Kodak over on Mockingbird. That's how the film found its way into history.
Brett and Bert Shipp, son and father, have both worked for WFAA, a local Dallas TV station. Bert was the reporter that day, and his son takes a look back into how that coverage impacts television news.
WFAA TV and KRLD and WBAP and all the stations in town had to go wall-to-wall live coverage round the clock for 3 or 4 days. And that had never been done before.
After coming back from Parkland Hospital and stumbling into the studio, Bert walked in on live television coverage.
And even though he had reason to believe the president was dead, he didn't say it. He didn't say, I think the president is dead. He just says, he's not sure he could live.
Brett says the reporters paved the way for constant live coverage for future tragedies.
From there on out, if there's a news event that affects everyone's lives and it's in your hometown, whether it's a tornado now or a hurricane, it all started, that brand of coverage started in Dallas on that day.
Although the historical Dealey Plaza will remain frozen in a moment of time, that spot also permanently altered broadcast media. Reporting from Dallas, Kenzie Meekbeck, OU Nightly.
And you had the great honor of working alongside your dad for many years at FAA.
For 10 years. My dad worked the assignments desk. He was, back in the 60s, a reporter and a photographer, and then he became assistant news director, and then he became news director, and then he became a legendary assignments editor probably from 1973 till he left in 2004.
How did your father's journalism legacy shape who you are today?
And wow, in every aspect, because our whole home life was geared around he used to drive a news unit, said, Channel 8 News on the side of it, and would take me to school in the mornings. We'd show up, my brother and I, like celebrities. Everybody like, oh, look, it's Channel 8. It was my dad bringing us to school. And then at nighttime in the summer, we didn't have school. There was a fire or a wreck or some sensational event. My dad would come into the room, wake us up, and say, y'all want to go to a fire? And Bruce and I looked at each other and said, golly gee, wow, let's go. And that was our life. And I distinctly remember when we were kids on Friday night with nothing to do on a Friday night, we would go, Daddy, could you take us down to Parkland Hospital in the emergency room, and so we can watch the meat wagons roll in and watch the guys on stretchers bleeding? And that was our entertainment growing up.
Well, he had to be so proud of you. I mean, you've accomplished so much in journalism. He had to be so proud of you.
He never told me that. Oh, kidding. Yes. It was great. I mean, every morning I would get to work, and the first thing I would do is go up on the assignments desk and sit there with my dad and just talk about life and talk about news and talk about what was going on. And because we were just simpatico, we were basically the same dude. We were born like one day apart, November 26th, November 27th, and we were the same dude.
Wow.
And I'm so lucky to have him in my life and him as a mentor and there for me every day. And I'll never forget the most consequential conversation we ever had was on the phone on 9/11. He called me up and he said, son, you're going to New York. And that was like right after the second tower fell. And it was like, let's go, Dad.
And if you think about that, I mean, at that time, we didn't know, is this the end of the world? We didn't know. I mean,
that's exactly my thought. I remember driving in the van with two other producer and photographers, Stephen Kaniga and Meredith Schucker, and we're just quiet driving to New York. And I remember thinking, we have no idea what we're walking into. We have no idea if this is going to happen again. We don't know if we're going to die. We don't know if we're going to experience elation or depression, and it turned out the latter. I mean, that was the most impactful week of my life.
Well, and I share some of that memory because I remember I was working at Channel 4 at the time, and nobody had to call you in. You just knew that you were going to go in. And as I'm driving in, I'm like, okay, they've already hit, Pennsylvania and DC and New York. I mean, is Dallas next? And as I'm driving in, I'm thinking to myself, if this is my last day on the planet, why am I going to work? Shouldn't I just be home with my wife? But I mean, maybe that's part of our DNA.
No, did you ever cover a hurricane? Did you ever cover a hurricane?
Yeah.
The thing I can never forget about hurricanes, besides the winds, is the most daunting, what you just said, the most daunting feeling is that when there's a contraflow coming up from Houston or coming up I-10 or whatever from New Orleans, everybody's going away from it, and you're the only guy driving toward it. Yeah. And you talk about, your mortality. You consider it in moments like that. And 9/11 was, you can imagine the uncertainty and the. Your career is legendary. You recently left Spectrum News, and you were their main anchor for the whole state. And they did kind of a goodbye tribute to you. Let's go ahead and roll that. What? No, don't roll that. Go ahead. I'm not going anywhere. Dallas, I'm still here.
Yeah, you are Dallas, Brett. This is a shot of the skyline.
Somebody write that down.
Well, thank you all for sticking with us here on Spectrum News 1. Unfortunately, this morning, we're saying goodbye to a legend here at Spectrum News. Our beloved Brett Shipp is sailing off.
We love you, man. Brett has been a dogged anchor and reporter, a friend, and a mentor to all of us here on your morning and really the whole Spectrum News crew. Although there is too many to fit in one highlight reel, Brett.
He looks so confused.
What are y'all talking about?
We're looking back on some of your favorite moments from our time, and
roll tape. Just roll
anchor.
tape. Roll tape. What is this? Roll tape. I'm Brett Shipp. I'm at the very southern tip of Texas. Starting today, we travel for the next 2 weeks west of San Diego. Spectrum News has uncovered millions of Texas public school tax dollars being diverted out of state. Methane, or leaking natural gas, superheating the planet. And we are about half hour away from this trial. Paxton faces 20 articles of impeachment. Tell me about when you finally learned something or anything about what had just happened.
The radio said that it was unconfirmed but the president had been shot at.
I love you, man. I miss you. You doing all right?
Love you too.
Hanging with my crew, just having fun and laughing. We laugh a lot. Whataburger? You still have it. All right, look, we're at center court right now, baby. We're looking for the most expensive seat in the house, $30,000. It kind of seems like the real thing there, y'all. That's something very final about that. What was that all about?
Yeah, it's
gonna miss you guys. Miss you guys. It's been a wonderful 4 years. Wow, it went by very, very fast. Amazing ride, y'all. Thank you so much.
Unforgettable, Brett.
Yeah. We've been so lucky to have you, and we know that you're going to continue doing amazing things in Dallas, in Texas, and really just continuing to change the world. Brett, we love you so much.
before I could do that.
Here's what I've noticed about you. You're uncomfortable with accolades because when I was praising you, you were kind of hamming it up, and you hammed it up on Spectrum. I mean, you are uncomfortable with the praise, but you deserve it all. And I'm going to transition because
Don't. Keep going with the accolades.
Don't stop. You are still a storyteller. You're helping other people tell their stories. So tell us about, we're going to put up your website. It's called theshippchannel.com.
You get it? The Shipp channel?
I love it. It's brilliant. So tell us how are you kind of an advocate? Tell us about this new company.
Well, what it is what I've done for so many years is help people. I mean, that's the best part of being a journalist. That's the best part of what we do, and you did it in Minneapolis and elsewhere. Is help people who can't afford attorneys or can't get anybody to listen to them and can't get justice. And so just because I'm not in TV anymore doesn't mean I have to stop doing that. It's very important to me to be that person who knows what buttons to push, who knows what reporters to call, who knows where the story can best be told. And so I'll just go in and work with people and size up their situation, say, here's how we're going to help you. And that's what I do for a living now. And it's very rewarding. And it's my calling, Jeff.
So
it's my calling.
Give us an idea, like what an ideal client looks like for you today.
6'4", 220 pounds, muscular, cut. What's your?
I mean, do you like fighting City
what?
Hall? Or
I look, what I do a lot of is helping people fight City Hall, as you just said. I mean, right now, for whatever reason, I've got like 4 or 5 clients who are people who are frustrated by the bureaucracies wherever it is. And lately it's at City Hall. Oh, we want to tear down City Hall. Oh, we want to tear down these bridges to Oak Cliff. Oh, we want to put up 5-story apartment complexes next to single family homes. And how do we fight City Hall? That's what I do. And I covered City Hall starting in 1991 at Channel 4.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So when they see you representing a client, City Hall knows that they have a very worthy adversary.
Well, they have somebody who knows the territory, who has covered everything at City Hall, who has put people in jail. I mean, who has, I put the mayor from Richardson in jail. I testified at her trial. I know corruption when I see it, and I can spot it a mile away. And you know what? If things don't add up, let me do some digging. And that's what I do. It's not only do I help tell people's story, I do the digging too. Yes. I try to find out the truth.
Well, there's a lot of consultants out there, and I think they're playing checkers and you're playing 3D chess. I mean, truly, they when somebody retains you, they know they're getting the best of the best.
I don't think they know that. I have to tell them that. Don't you guys know that you're getting the best of the best when you hire me? I was on my website, I've got a picture of me interviewing Governor Abbott. And it wasn't really an interview. It was, I stood up to him in a press conference and called him out on some things. And he was, after the news conference, out of the corner of my eye, I see wheeling toward me. I'm like, that's got to be the governor. And he's headed right for me. And he wanted to kind of not correct the record, but he wanted to supplement his remarks with what he felt was an extra part of the story. And so anyway, that's on camera, and I didn't put that in my story because what mattered is I had this rapport with the governor and had him come to me and say, hey, let me tell you some more to help make sure you get the story straight. And, it's not about politics, it's about facts. It's about truth. And that's all I've ever wanted to know is what's the truth and can I prove it? Can I support it?
And you're still a young man, so
Thank you very much.
This could be the most exciting chapter in your life, and you're still writing it. So in the final minute or so, look into the camera on the left and talk to the client who might need to ask for your help.
Well, all I can say is hire me. Hire me now. No, look, here's the most important thing I do. I take a look at your situation, and if I can help you, I lay out a plan on how I can help you. And if I can't, if I'm thinking, I'm not sure I can help this person, I'm just honest and say, I'm not the guy, and here's who I think you need to find. So if you need an advocate, if you need somebody to do some digging, if you need somebody followed or tailed, I did a lot of that at Channel 4. Phil Fleming and I in that van. Oh my gosh. I can do it all. I know everybody, and I can pick up the phone and make stuff happen.
I love it. That's a great way to end this show. We're going to end with his website as well, theshippchannel.com, the great Brett Shipp. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thanks. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.